And welcome back on Hawk Talk. Jeff Dooley joined by Anthony Miner, who starred for the Hartford Hawks men's basketball team between 2007 and 2011. Anthony, good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you too, Jeff. I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Well, tell us what you're doing now.
So right now I'm working for Aetna, which actually just has been acquired by CVS not too long ago, in the medical insurance field. That's my main job. I'm also coaching with Joe Zaglinski down at Archbishop Ryan High School, which is a good time. So that's what I'm doing for work. Other than that, I'm hanging out during the pandemic, getting things done around the house, trying to keep sane. Glad the sports are back, and that's about it.
Glad you're doing so well, working with Etna, and obviously still doing some basketball activities with Joe Z. And I know last time I talked to you, you said you were coaching with him, and that's got to be fun to still be involved in the game of basketball.
Oh yeah, I mean, I basically lived through these kids now. I have nothing to play for, so
Right.
it's great. We've been there 5 years now, so we actually have kids that we've coached that are at the college level now, and it's great turning on TV and see one of the guys you coach. It's kind of like your son out there. So yeah, I love it. I enjoy it, and look to keep continue to do it for as long as I can.
What's the most rewarding thing about coaching?
I think it's seeing the kids grow up. You see them as freshmen, you see them as sophomores, and by junior and senior year, they become young adults, ready for the real world and what's out there. Passing on knowledge that I've learned from playing basketball, both on the court and off the court, and just letting them know how things are going to go at the next level and watching them at the next level. That's probably my favorite thing. Turn on a game right now. We have a guy at Penn State, so I've watched all
Wow.
of Penn State's games this year. We have a guy down at Campbell, a guy up at Bowling Green. So that's probably the best part is being able to turn the TV on and seeing a guy you coach for 4 years playing at that level.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, I know you keep tabs on your former team, the Hartford Hawks men's basketball team, because we occasionally catch you at a game when you get a chance to come back for on a business trip or something. But it's always fun, I'm sure, to take a peek and maybe at that scroll at the bottom of the television to see how the Hawks are doing.
Oh yeah, I watched a couple games this year. Last year I was really tuned in, and it's a shame that the season ended the way it did because I think the Hawks really had a chance to make a run, make some noise. But this year the team looks good. Young guys look good. The returning guys look good. Gal's doing a great job up there, and I think it's going to be a good next few upcoming years for them.
Anthony, what was your experience like playing for the Hartford men's basketball team?
My experience was great. The biggest takeaway is, when you're living with guys for 4 years, playing with guys for 4 years, it's the friendship and the brotherhood that you create with the guys you played with. Most of the guys I played with, I still talk to till this day.
Wow.
We're at the age now where we have weddings and babies and everything. So um, traveling around, going to weddings, seeing people's kids grow up. Um, that's probably the best part of it for me was the relationship I built with the guys who I played with, also the coaches as well. Both Lebo, Gal, all the other coaches, G, Coach B, all the coaches along the way. Still have a relationship with those guys as well. It always feels as though if you ever need anything, those guys are always going to be in your corner. So it's not just a thing of when you're there; it's when you're done playing after. So I had a great time. I loved the school. I loved the city. I love the people I played with. I love the people who didn't play sports who were just on campus. Loved everything about the school. Best 4 years of my life.
That's awesome to hear, and certainly you were a fan favorite when you spent your time here in West Hartford. And Anthony, Coach Gallagher often refers to that beginning class, with you and Joe and some of the other greats that suited up at that point. You really are the foundation that helped build all the success the program's had today. But I've got to ask you, when you were looking back now at the time when you were, a freshman and sophomore, did you realize that you were building something special there?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea. It was pretty much, as a freshman, you're just rolling the ball out and you just want to play. You don't really
Right.
understand what's going on. You don't know why is what and what is why. But looking back at it, especially that first year that we had, that was a very special team. Um, and once again, I didn't realize how special it was till now. I look back at it, and there was a lot of players on that team, a lot of good players. So yeah, at the time, I had no idea what was going on. But
It's
looking
so
back,
cool though, because Coach Gallagher always refers to you guys, as the foundation of the program, and make sure that the guys that are playing and dressing, in the uniforms today understand the history and who's played here, and you guys are certainly a vital part of all the success that the team has really gotten the last couple of years.
Yeah, and that means a lot to us too. To hear people still talk about us or people still mention us when they're bringing up the program. It's pretty big to us too because we will always be a part of that program. We're there for 4 years, put blood, sweat, tears into it. So that's good to hear.
What was your best memory on the court?
Uh, on the court, my best memory was probably that's tough. It's either gonna be playing at Kentucky, which was a life changing experience, or it's gonna be getting to that championship game of the America East my freshman year at UMBC. One of those two are probably my favorite. Kentucky, just because that atmosphere, the guys we were playing against, it was a whole different world, a whole different level, and I'm glad to say I was a part of it. And my freshman year, that championship game, um, it was just a really good team. Like I said, a lot of good players, and we're that close, and that's probably the best on court memory.
How about your favorite road trip when you look back?
Um, definitely not Maine. Uh, um, favorite road trip was I think probably Vegas. We flew out to Vegas and played in I think it was called the Orleans Classic. I don't even really remember the teams we played out there, but just being in Vegas for the first time with that group of guys, we had a good time and it was a lot of fun.
And you still keep in touch with a lot of your former teammates?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm actually in a group chat on Instagram with Joe, Kevin, Morgan, Andres, Mike Turner, Fabrice, Book. And I still talk to a lot of other guys as well. Charles Clayton, Genesis, all those guys that were younger than me. I still keep in touch with those guys as well. So, yeah, we still all talk. Like I said, we're at the age where we're getting married, we're having kids, so we're going to weddings, seeing babies being born, traveling around visiting guys. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been out to Tahoe where Morgan is. Went out to California for Kevin's wedding, although he's now in Virginia. So, still getting around.
That's awesome. Well, so glad to hear that you're doing so well. Always fun catching up, Anthony, and make sure you stay in touch. And looks like you get a fun group of players to watch with the Hawks this year. And let us know next time that your business brings you this way to Hartford.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
All right, Anthony Miner joining us on Hawk Talk.